So, well, and listeners who are tuning in, so welcome to Just One Thing, another episode of Just One Thing, where training gym owners get actionable insights to build a dream business. And I'm with the legendary Tom. And over the next 12 odd minutes or so, we will unpack just one thing to help you grow your business. Well, welcome back, Tom.
Long time no see. It's been like hours.
Yeah. So Tom, in the last episode, you were talking about the anchors of where one can upcharge and upsell to the customer. And one of the things that you spoke about was nutrition. And you'd given some snippets about, hey, people don't charge enough there, or people don't have a really good program or a really good profit center in nutrition. So talk to me a little bit more about that. What does that perfect nutrition profit center or service?
And then they try to give it away free, which has very little value to it. Or they just kind of, they really don't have a system for it. But if I go to a gym, usually I'm trying to out-train a bad diet. I go to the gym because I really don't want to diet that much. But there is that, and it's only, I would say statistically 10, maybe 20% of your clients that they want that extra help, and we should sell it to them. So nutrition is one of those things that supports the guy. So if the person's, he's 40 pounds overweight and he's training, and so selling him a 12-week accountability program as a wraparound, that makes sense because it's not part of the basic membership, but it is a lifestyle support system for a money guy. But I don't want, again, cheap them out. So if I do that, I'm going to include everything for 90 days. I'm going to include his supplements, his protein. His meal replacement bars. I'm going to set him up on a 12-week program. He's going to come in once a week. I'm going to spend time with him. But that's something where they make by choice. Going back to the hotel analogy, that's when I decide if I'm spending, a couple $1,000s a month hotel, I go down to the restaurant, I expect to pay for the food. But it's going to be a really high-end restaurant. And so I go to you because of your expertise as a coach, and I need extra help. Well, we have it available. That's the convenience factor. And it's $445 for a 12-week program, and I'm going to include everything in it so you don't have to think. Let's get you started. So to me, it's a wraparound. It's an additional support for my lifestyle. I had an expectation of paying for it. It's not a freebie. So nutrition is one of those things that most trainers wrestle with. They try to throw stuff out during their sessions. They try to post stuff online instead of making a formal part of the business as a standalone unit, which it should be.
Okay. I love that. So as a matter of fact, I think what we should do is, I was looking at the time as you were going through that, maybe we should end this with, here are those different profit centers, and then have another episode on just the nutrition side of things. And maybe that's our next episode where we unpack that and say, what does that 12-week accountability wraparound looks like, and how much can I charge for it? Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, let's so the wrap up, the big ones are, one, as we said, nutrition is your centerpiece. That's where we start. Once you get to a facility where you're beyond 100 members, you're making a case then for a performance bar. Something, you're looking like Performance Foods, one of their high end. I love those products, very high end, very clean. But I'm looking for that type of, even if it's 100 feet little segment up against the wall, I still want a mini performance bar because I still have to support them. If I can do it with a decent coffee, with a high-end shake, and then I move nutrition, to me is also beyond that is supplementation. And that I separate it from the nutrition guidance program. Supplementation is something where, but most guys fail because they put up a shelf and they've got like 9 bottles on the shelf. Well, they don't even believe in it. Where if I'm going to get into nutrition, I need a little 60, 70-foot office, no desk, wall unit, but I sit side by side with my client. And the whole wall is supplements because I want to give the visual, like we believe so much into it. Look at the inventory. Look at this office we have just to talk about nutrition and supplementation. This is what we do. And this is part of the lifestyle. So you take the guy in, he can shop off the wall, put stuff in a bag, or you sit down and have a talk with him, grab everything he needs, shove it into the bag. It's really a nutritional consulting office. I do my accountability programs in there, but also this is where I sell my supplements. And then you have a use display on the counter that also enhances that. You know, you want more supplement help, ask, because we have a whole room full of supplementation just waiting for you. Let me back up just a step. Okay, the guy comes to the gym. He drives past 4 gyms to get to you, and he picks you. We don't think about that. We kind of forget that. We're not doing him a favor. So he's doing us a favor by giving us money. And so when a guy comes to me and says, you're my guy, you're my gym, you're the woman I'm going to train with, at that point, then what can I do to support them and to make sure that everything they need beyond training exists? So the foundation of nutrition has to be a step prior to that, where 6 days a week, I'm sending you a text, an email. I've got a constant contact newsletter template coming out once or twice a month. I'm maybe even referring you to my YouTube channel where I might have a cooking demonstration. But I'm coming every 6 days a week. I'm giving you nutrition advice to support your choice that I am the right guy, because I've got to go beyond training. I've got to now support everything you do. This lays the foundation for nutrition. Restoration of movement. Here's a simple flow somebody over 50 can do. So there's flow pattern. All this pops up constantly through my feed. So when we start to do this, before I can sell them nutrition, I have to build the bridge to get to them. So the bridge is 6 days a week of constant support, where I'm trying to, I want to touch them all day. So if the guy says, I haven't been in the gym for a week, but I got this really cool workout tip, or I've got this, shoe review, or I've got this, 4-minute cooking demo that was goofy with music. Colin McGarty used to do those as well as anybody, probably better than anybody. But you've got stuff like that where every day you're touching me. Then once I get into the guy's head that I'm here to support everything you do, let's talk about nutrition, which is the missing ingredient in your personal life. So I will give you all the basic nutrition, but what you don't have is accountability, and we sell accountability. So we don't sell nutrition, we sell accountability for a program that if you follow it, I can get some results out of that for you. In other words, we can lose 10 pounds or work through, first stages of type 2, the X factors, and start to work through these things. We have a plan. So nutrition is part of our overall scope of what we do to support you, but accountability and extra help beyond that is what we sell. So those two type of things, if you separate that in your head, the nutrition program makes a lot of sense at that point. And then if I look at this, if I use the word accountability as a basis, then it's easy to design the program, because what does a guy need? Accountability. So accountability means I sit and talk with you, but I need to educate you. So I can put together a 12 sequence where I introduce why supplementation and things. So I give a little bit of education with it, but it's really, what did you eat this week? What did you screw up? Let's get back on track. This you did really well. This, it's a holiday. We knew it was going to go bad. Here's what we do to reset. And I just have a nice patient person that spends 30 minutes for 11 weeks with them in an hour the first time. And that would be roughly $450, something like that, because I want to include the supplementations. That's individual trainer will have the supplementations they think they should have. You find what you want to do, but make sure the basic that in there. If you're a protein powder guy, make sure he gets the jug. If you're a meal replacement bar person, make sure he gets enough meal replacement bars for 90 days. All that is pushed across in a nice, bag, canvas bag or something, not a stupid old plastic bag, but something nice. And here, everything you need to be successful, assume it's right here for the next 12 weeks. And go from there.
So there's a start and an end 12-week program. I'm charging $450 on it, like you said. And you brought up another, well, this caught my attention as you were saying that, Tom, is body composition. am I charging for that body composition? Because that could be another way to up my revenue per member, or you're saying, no, I'm not going to charge for that. That's something.
I that's one of those things where I wouldn't charge for it. It's really, is it much more than a scale? So for the 12 weeks, I'm really trying to do some type of behavior modification at that point. So if I'm using a body comp machine, I want them, that's the reward. Hey, look, you went from body fat of, from 28, you're down to 23. Hey, great job. That's only in 3 weeks. Well, am I going to charge them for that? No. Well, it's definitely part of that. My elite clients, it's always, but am I really going to charge people? Am I that desperate for cash? I charge people to step on a scale? Because that's, in essence, it's no matter what we call it, it's a body comp. It's a damn scale, and I'm not going to charge people to use the scale. Yeah.
I have to interject there for a second, because I get your viewpoint about not charging because it may seem as if I'm trying to do it for a profit perspective. But I've also heard gym owners tell me, and I've had the same conversation with them, where they're like, we charge because it's not about the money, but it's because I want some skin in the game. So they believe that there is a value associated with it. Because if you just give it away, then no one's using it. So funny, there is no usage if I say it's included. But the moment I carve it out and I say, hey, it's $25, but you'll see the change, they're paying for it. He's like, it's insane. So
I think that's absolutely total crap.
Okay.
Because I've never seen that. You're telling me that you've got something as cool as like an InBody sitting there on the floor, but because it's free, no one steps on it. That's what you just said, or the client said to you. Think about that logically. That's oh my God, I didn't pay for it. I'm not going to step on and see what my body comp is. Well, most guys won't play with you. Because you don't pay, they won't do the printouts. They won't go over the data with you because you're not paying them. So most clients don't know how to use it. That's a justification by a lot of coaches that, it's just, you're trying to justify a guy for that. But there's a bigger picture there. And I want the coach to see the bigger picture is, how many clients have they had that they lose 20 pounds over 6 months, but they don't remember it's you? I just started moving a little more, but I'm walking at home too. And, I got my old weights out from under the bed. I'm doing the high school bench press in the garage now. And so they're with you, but they're not giving you credit. So
right.
I would formalize an InBody. I would formalize a functional movement screen, and I would schedule people for it because it validates what I've done for them. So if I put the guy in an InBody and once a month I have, look, hey, Sumit, I know you're here for a one-on-one tonight. Come on, it's time. Let's get you on the InBody, and I take you over there and do this. Well, I want all the clients on that because it validates that I did it. They did it here in my gym. So that's why I want the functional movement screen to go back once a month and have the clients come in, hey, Saturday morning, we're testing everybody. Stop by. Let's test and let's go over your numbers and do a comparison. Anytime you want to get on the InBody, if I've got somebody free to do that, we're going to do it. But people have already paid to be in these gyms. So they're looking for support like this nutrition guidance. They're looking for support like body composition because it's part of the overall experience of the gym. But I'll charge them for supplements because I have a cost. I bought the InBody once and it's sitting on the floor. I want them on it because it makes me look better as a coach. And if they get results, they stay longer and pay longer. And that's retention. That's stuff like that. So no, when the young trainers say that, I look at them and go, that's no.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So Tom, coming back to the point about where you mentioned you're hitting them up with on the nutrition. Actually, I have two angles there. As you were talking about the nutrition angle and you said you're really modifying behavior, then why not package it as a new habit forming program as opposed to just nutrition? Because new habit forming could have more impact in someone's lives, because everyone knows it's all about embracing new habits. So why not have that as a service offering as opposed to just having nutrition, or have both basically?
Yeah, I mean, that's what basic you're doing, but what's the power word? What word would scare you the most? You've got, how old are your kids, Sumit?
10 and 12 too.
12, perfect, perfect. 12-year-old, I'm going to say, I'm holding you accountable. So I'm going to go away Saturday. I'm going to leave you home, but I'm holding you accountable that this house better be in good shape. Yes, you can bring one friend over, but this is a day of accountability. This is your day to grow up. And that word accountability just terrorizes children. Well, it terrorizes 50-year-old business people. And that's so the accountability program, to me, that's a scary word. Is it behavior modification? Of course it is. That's what you're trying to do, is to get the guy reset. But it takes a special skill set to be able to do that. You do need like that precision nutrition degree or certification where you're learning those habits. ACE has a brilliant program on that as well. There's a lot of options to get stuff where you learn how to hold people accountable, but selling them the concept is not the same as meeting you each week and holding you to the path. And that's, so it is, yeah, I like the term, but I think accountable is such a brutal term for most people, because very few people are accountable for much in their life. If you think about it, it's somebody else's fault. But what if it's your fault? And that's what it's saying. What if your weight is your personal responsibility? What if I hold you accountable for how you look, how you feel, what you eat, and how your body will change? I'm watching you, So I like the word accountable for that.
Perfect. Okay. On that note, I think this is great. So we understand nutrition it is, and that's the centerpiece, and how to go about structuring it. So cool, Tom. Let's call it a day.